Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Bitcoin hitting $1 million per coin. And I'll never forget back in 2017 or 2018 really, after it peaked off at 20,000, it went into a decline. And then it started to rebound, from 3,000 to 5,000 plus. And of course, being the idiot that I was at the time, I bought it, sold it, for 5,000, 10,000. 100% profit, right? But the real winners in Bitcoin have been those who have just held, who have done absolutely nothing, right? And that's always the tough part. And not just with Bitcoin, but really any of these, like XRP, Ethereum, even Dogecoin, right? Remember the Dogecoin millionaire? In fact, let me pull up Dogecoin's chart. I hope he still owns his Dogecoins, because he hit over like 2 million when it hit 50 cents. If you guys remember that story. Everybody was telling him to sell, and he was just like wildly convicted that this was going to the moon. And it appears as though it's making a rebound, right? And so we're entering this phase, what I call this great melt-up period, where I think we're going to see, especially with this pro-crypto administration, Dogecoin, the XRP, Ethereum, you name it, right? We have XRP right here at 250. This one was trading, when this came out in 2017, 2018, it was trading at, as you can see, 17 cents, spiked really quickly up to $2 on the hype, and then came crashing down. I mean, we have not seen these highs since XRP has come out. And of course, with the banking system, and really, I think everybody not everybody, but a lot of people just being kind of fed up with the traditional banking system and all the fees and everything, XRP really stands out for that reason. Ethereum, right? Bitcoin's cousin. You can just look at the performance over the last 5 years. It speaks for itself. 1,764%. No doubt outperforming the S&P 500. No doubt outperforming the NASDAQ. If you're an index investor, nothing wrong with that. But when you're looking at these cryptos, the sky has truly been the limit. And, people will say, well, what's it really worth? Is it really worth anything? Why is this coin suddenly worth thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in the case of Bitcoin? Why is Bitcoin's market cap over 1 trillion? And it really just comes down to perception. The perception of any asset. If you have buyers and sellers, supply and demand, perception of, grocery prices even. You can take it to the store. Why is bread a certain price? Well, you have supply and demand. It's simple when you think about it, right? But obviously with crypto and Bitcoin in particular, the way this is set up, the supply is continually going down, right? We have the Bitcoin halving cycle. I had a chart pulled up here. Of course, there's an advertisement now. Well, here's an article. So Bitcoin path to 1 million. New model reveals 2034 as key milestone. So this article is predicting, Bitcoin by 2034. Obviously we do have the fact that the supply of Bitcoin is never going to go back up. So with any fiat cryptocurrency or any fiat currency, you can print, $1 trillion like it's nothing. We know that. You can inflate things into oblivion. And in dollar terms, right, for that reason, Bitcoin should continue to go up. Assuming the demand does not go down, which we've seen demand increase in recent years, and we have a fixed supply, and we also have an increasing supply of US dollars, the equation really matches up in that situation. And when you look at the long-term 4-year cycle, we've discussed this on the channel before, but basically this cycle that says every 4 years, you can see the consolidation period. It crashes. You even go back to 2013. I remember when I first saw this, I was in high school still. And stupid me, I should have bought back then. But 2013 hits 1,000, right? Hits just about 1,000, crashes. Everybody's freaking out. It went down to 200, 80% sell-off, right? Then we hit 20,000, or just about. Crashes, right? All the way down to 3,000. So another 80% sell-off. Then we hit 2021, right? So it just keeps on going. So the point is, right, with this, the 4-year cycle is continual. We've seen it in 2021. Now we're at an all-time high, 2024 going into 2025. So the expected move for Bitcoin would be into the six-figure range in 2025. And as far as it hitting 1 million, maybe that happens in the next cycle. Maybe that happens in 2029 or 2033, right? Whatever you. So it's every 4 years, right? So what we've seen is 2013 peaking off, 2017, 2021, and now we could maybe expect by the end of 2025 for the price to once again go parabolic, which it already kind of has been recently, and hit the all-time high. So then the question is, when does it actually hit 1 million? Like I said, this article is saying 1 million by 2034, but they say it's unlikely this year. Well, yeah, obviously, it's not going to hit 1 million this year. There's no way, unless, let's say, the dollar hyperinflates or something, right? Maybe that's a remote possibility, but Cathy Wood, of course, we've seen her name around. She's basically saying you can hit 1.5 million or up to that in the coming years, depending on various economic factors. The quantile model provides a stark contrast to her forecast. According to the model, there is only a 5% chance that Bitcoin will hit 1 million by 2030, and a mere 20% chance it'll reach 650,000 by 2030. So, 20% chance. And really, on the trajectory it's at, if you can imagine Bitcoin in the next several months hitting 250,000 and then selling off maybe back to, an 80% sell-off would be, 40, 50,000, and then basically consolidating and, breaking past the all-time high again and the next cycle, right? So it's just a matter of time and chance, and it's a matter of also supply and demand. You like I said, fixed supply of Bitcoin, you have the Bitcoin halving cycle, you have the supply of US dollars continuing to go up, and so the equation really kind of does make sense, but it is demand determined, right? So we have to have demand for Bitcoin. And all these years, what I've seen are people saying, well, why would somebody want to buy this? It's worthless, right? Or why are you buying this crypto or that crypto? And the truth of the matter is, it's all about perceived value. And that's the fact with a stock, right? Like when you see a stock going parabolic, when you see, like I've talked about a lot of stocks that have gone from, even what maybe a lot of people would call speculative trash, right? Or stocks that are priced at, let's say, 5 cents a share going to $8 plus a share, or a stock going from 1 cent to $2 a share on a parabolic moonshot. What's the perceived value between 1 cent and $2, right? So that's what you have to look at. Like, why are investors suddenly valuing a company at a lot higher valuation? Why is Bitcoin valued at $1 trillion plus? Well, there's a lot of demand, and also it's used internationally. So people are using it more and more, especially in countries where there's not a stable currency, right? People are turning to this because it's easy to, you think about like Venezuela. I'm pretty sure Venezuela was one of the top countries for Bitcoin usage just due to the fact that the currency was not stable. So it was more stable to hold Bitcoin than it was to hold the Venezuelan bolivar or whatever it was, right? So it's all about perception, it's all about demand, and it's ultimately about, this expanding on a global basis. And you could ask yourself, well, what's the difference? Like, what makes Bitcoin more special than Ethereum, than, XRP, than Solana, than Dogecoin? Like, why are these the most popular cryptocurrencies? And, that's another thing. Like, it's just a matter of who wants to buy these things, right? Who actually is interested in believing in this currency or this currency? Because ultimately what I think will happen eventually, and I think where we're going, is these blockchain currencies are going to be used by countries. And eventually, if we get to the point where, if you want to be go down the rabbit hole a little bit, a one world government, right? So you've heard that conspiracy around, thrown around maybe. A one world government could be based upon the blockchain, right? It could be based upon the crypto sphere. And that's probably what's going to happen if they ever get their way, right? As Alex Jones would say. Anyway, I digress. But the point is, like, if you ever have a centralized currency across the globe, it very likely would be based upon the blockchain. It would be based upon the crypto market, right? You think about universal basic income. You could have a blockchain ledger for universal basic income, right? So these are all just considerations. These are all things that, you look at market cap of 1.8 trillion, and you think that's absolutely crazy. But on a global scale, it's really not that much. If you think about a $10 trillion market cap, on a global scale, is it really that much? I mean, for XRP, if this takes over the banking system, as some people are saying, if this replaces, all the expensive fees when it comes to doing international money transfers, XRP, why is it only at 145 billion? Shouldn't it be at 5 or 10 trillion? So these are all questions to ask, right? Should it 10x? Should Bitcoin be valued at 10 or 15 trillion? Should XRP be valued at 10 or 15 trillion? Should these coins 10x? And then, of course, Ethereum at a $400 billion market cap. Why can't Ethereum get over $1 trillion market cap? It's already at 400 billion, right? So these are all considerations, all things to keep in mind. And of course, you don't just have to buy the cryptos. There's also stocks out there you can choose from. There's also, stocks that are much higher risk, like, we talk about on the channel a lot. There's also stocks that are lower risk, even in the crypto sphere. So more established players. You might think something like Coinbase. Maybe Coinbase would be, I think that was the first one that came out. I guess the first real crypto company that went public. So it's been trading on the NASDAQ. As you can see, it has not done terrible. I mean, it's positive. In the last year, it's up 97%, right? So you can get exposure via different crypto companies, right, that are investing and developing crypto, crypto mining companies. You don't necessarily have to buy the coins themselves, but the key, right, is to try to make the right bets. That's the whole thing about this. And so whether Bitcoin goes to 1 million or not, Cathy Wood is saying, oh, here's another one, XRP to $33. Hey, that's a pretty good return from current levels. And I definitely believe it's possible. I mean, why not? And so when we look at Bitcoin's path to 1 million, it's not that far-fetched. I mean, people thought it was far-fetched when we were talking 100,000, when we were talking $1 trillion market cap, and look what's happened. People thought it would have been crazy back in 2013 if you would have told them that from the current price of $1,000 when it peaked off, roughly, that it would have hit 100,000, which it has. I mean, it practically has, And so, these are the things that people need to remember, because when you're looking at $1 million Bitcoin, it may sound crazy right now, but the fact that we're already at 100,000, I mean, why can't that happen, right? So anyway, I digress. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Hope everybody's having a great weekend, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.